Oftentimes, I am in the heat of pain. Many times I'm in pain and people are not even aware of it. I smile because I believe that my smile actually gets me through the pain. But there are some days that my pain is so great that not even a smile can help me get through it. I feel alone. I feel lost. But I know that God will make a way and get me through it. I often talk to people and they don't quite understand what I'm going through. I've been suffering with chronic headaches ever since I was a little girl. I don't think there was a time in my life that I did not have a headache. I remember in my 20s actually, where the headaches actually brought on major depression, where I didn't know why God was keeping me. It was major for me. Being a person who desires to enjoy life and do things, I didn't quite understand why God would allow me to suffer. Also, my faith being strong, I didn't want to question God because I was raised in such a fashion that questioning God was not what we were taught to do. We didn't question God. I just remembered my mom saying to us as a little girl, "Why not you?" When you ask why God, why not you? As I got older, I began to realize that in that question, why, I also learned that my suffering has become my testimony. No, I admit it is painful. It hurts. And sometimes my pain is what causes me to have to slow down and stop and be still for a while. But at the same time, it's also what keeps me going. I've been on total disability for many years, but there hasn't been a day that I have not done some form of work or some form of activity because God has made a way for me to continue to not focus on my pain, but focus on the journey that He has me on. There's a purpose for my pain. My girlfriend said, well, pain and suffering doesn't come from God. I agree to some extent, but I know that God allows things to happen so that we can learn and grow and be who He would desire us to be. Yes, every time I look at my illness, I have to stop and I ask God, God, what are you telling me? What are you speaking to me today? And I find a lesson in that. I find a lesson in what He's telling me for that particular season. I admit, I didn't always see that. When I had that season of depression, I didn't know why. I didn't understand it. I fought it. I went through the counseling, the therapy, all the medical doctors. Even to this day, I still have to go to the medical doctors because it is still physical. But I also recognize the spiritual side of it. And the spiritual side is that I must go to that Psalms 91 place, that secret place, and seek His face. And know that God is desiring me to seek His face in the midst of my pain. That there is joy, and that the joy of the Lord is my strength, even in the midst of my pain. So yes, There is a purpose for all of our sadness. There's a purpose for it. And I desire to praise Him in the midst of the storm, in the middle of it. I praise Him and I worship Him. And I allow what's going on in my life to be my testimony. There are days that it's hard and it's rough, that I just want to go into a corner and just steal away. But then the next day, I rise up and I recognize what God is doing. So I encourage you to stay focused on the one who created you, that in spite of the storm, He is making a way. As I encourage you, I encourage myself. Be blessed.